This is Bumper to Bumper, the car show. Drive in anxious and cruise out confident. With the best automotive information for your vehicle. And now your hosts, Matt Allen and Dave Riccio.
Well, happy Saturday, everyone, and welcome to Bumper Radio. I am Dave Riccio, here along with Matt Allen, and together we are your KTAR car guys. Heard every Saturday from 11 to noon, right here on Bumper to Bumper Radio. At Bumper to Bumper, we are helping you, the motoring public, have a better overall car experience. So if you got car questions, we've got car answers, and we encourage you to give us a call. It's 602-277-5827, 602-277-KTAR. You can also text questions to 411-923. And besides having Matt Allen here with me, we've got some folks from H&I Automotive. They are a shop on Bumper to Bumper Radio. We've got Spencer Doucet, we've got Danny Grant, and we've got Steve Buckmeyer. And H&I Automotive, two shops. You guys have one in Gilbert, and then you guys have one in Mesa. And I don't even know that part of town very well. I mean, I've been to their shops.
I'd never go.
But it's like, to me, it's like talking about a different world, you know, because I'm kind of like in that central South Scottsdale kind of area. And then the West Valley, I don't know that very well either. But I think there's a fire or something going on over there in Mesa.
Dave stays in his little microcosm.
Yeah, I don't go too far from the deal. So it's really good to have you guys here for sure. And today on the Bumper to Bumper roadmap, I thought we'd, of course, email of the week. Open phones and texts, anything in regard to your car we can help you with. And then warning lights. Those are one of those things that everyone likes to fix on their dashboard with the black tape. You know, the black tape. You just put it over the light goes away. You don't have to worry. Your problems are solved. And so, there's kind of a moral to my story today, and we'll get to the moral of the story. But, Matt, what's the number one most ignored check engine light?
Well, I don't know if there's more than one check engine light, Dave.
Well, most ignored light. I don't think we can even politically correct call them idiot lights.
Well,
anymore.
I was going to say they call them dummy lights for a reason, and the only time that they're really a dummy light is if you were the one that happens to ignore them. Then the light is no longer the dummy light. You are the dummy.
It's a dummy test is really what it is.
And if you ignore it, you fail, and you get the trophy for being the dummy. We should have a trophy in the shop, dummy light,
The dummy trophy.
Well, people might be offended. Hey, can we get your picture? You get the dummy award. Because that's certainly a good way to ruin your car. I mean, they started out years ago. You had two lights on the dash, maybe three, right? You had a oil light, which was the little genie can. You
rub it and Aladdin comes out.
Yeah, you better hope if that light is on, you start wishing that you don't blow your engine. You might have had a radiator light or a temperature light, and then an alternator or a generator light. No big deal. There wasn't a whole lot to go wrong with
the battery light was one. That's always been one.
Yeah, I think the battery kind of took over for the generator or the alternator light, which it's never the battery when the battery light comes on, but nobody knows what an alternator looks like, so I don't think they could put that little deal up there. But I would say probably I don't know, nowadays, the check engine light probably gets ignored the most, along with the tire pressure light. It's probably that's the number one.
Spencer, what's your call on the most ignored light in the dashboard?
I'm going to go between the tire pressure and even the airbag lights.
Oh, yeah.
I think most people feel that they don't really need the airbags.
That's the bubblegum light.
or the ABS light. That's the other one that, they tend to get ignored a lot. Can you ignore some more? There's some warning lights I think you can ignore after you've found out the story. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you can. Well, there's red lights. Red lights are like you can't ignore it. Pull over right now. Hit the brakes. Pull over. Hopefully you're near H&I.
Or at least one of the bumper to bumper.
One of the bumper to bumper shops. So those are red. If they're colored red, don't mess around with it. Yellow lights, you don't have to freak out. Right now, immediately. Unless the red light or the yellow light is flashing, then that's a little bit more serious.
You don't need to freak.
You don't need to freak.
You just, you make it to where you're going, or you call your shop that you already have a relationship. You say, hey, my check engine light's flashing. They're going to give you some advice. Finish the short trip. Get it into us.
Well, the check engine light, and people do ignore it. Again, because they could ignore it because, someone said, it's just not that big a deal, whatever the light is. The problem with the check engine light coming on, and some say check engine light, some are a silhouette or an outline of a check or of an engine, which I don't know why they did that because most people know what an engine looks like. And the modern engine doesn't look anything like the engine from 30 years ago. So that doesn't make any sense. But either way, they see the light and they swing by Acme Auto Parts, and Acme Auto Parts goes, oh, it's just this, or that. You don't need to worry about it. And so the problem with that light is it doesn't discriminate. So if it's just on and you say, oh, it's just some emission thing, I don't need to worry about it. Well, it only comes on for emissions reasons. First of all, that's why they put it there. But it's not. You're not going to know when you have a real problem. If the problem wasn't a big deal to start with.
And you say it only comes on for emissions reasons. We got to qualify it. People think, well, my car's not running well if my check engine light's is on. The engine can be running just fine. But Dave, how many times do you see the check engine light come on because there's a transmission problem?
Oh, transmission issue. Yeah, a lot of things.
And you say, what does that have to do with my emissions? Has a lot to do. If the car doesn't shift into gear properly, it's not shifting into gear too soon.
If it's slipping, it's not running efficient.
Slipping, yeah. So all of those things. So it's really anything that can create the car to emit more emissions than it was designed to. But back to, can you ignore or they don't discriminate? There's other things. I mean, you get a rich running engine. That's just not a waste of fuel and having bad emissions. People, who cares about the emissions? I live in Pine Top, or I'll register up there. Well, you're diluting the oil, so you're prematurely wearing the bearings. You're wasting the fuel. There's all kinds of things that are tethered to just that check engine light.
You can ignore it, but not too long. Really, that's the thing. At some point, you got to deal with it. You just don't have to freak out when it turns on. I get so many people, they freak out when the check engine light comes on. Like, whoa, slow down. And I tell them, they call me. They say, "There's light on my car. Take a picture of it, send it to me." And then I'm like, okay. Relax, you're okay.
What about, Spencer, what would you say? What's the most expensive warning light to ignore?
Oh, the check engine light probably ranks right up in there because there's so many pieces that can cause that light to come on.
Well, what I was going to say is the most expensive light to ignore is something that's telling you your car is overheating. Because
the red ones.
You keep driving, you've got the warning light, or even the gauge. Sometimes people don't really understand that the gauge may not have a warning light on it. Sometimes they have two. When it gets up into the 240s or 60s, then the light comes on. But if there's no light, a lot of people don't understand what the temperature range is on the gauge. And when that needle is bouncing off that H or the max or the red, and you keep driving, that is just an invitation for a very, very costly repair.
Hey, Steve. Now, Steve's a manager at the Mesa location, so that's Main and Higley, H&I over there. How many times have you had to call somebody after they overheated their car and just kept driving to give them the bad news that their motor was roasted and it got real expensive? Once or twice?
Oh, yeah, for sure. We just had a Honda not too long ago that he drove it until it wouldn't run and tried to start it, and both heads. And then when we were all done with it, after about 50 miles, the converter was plugged.
Oh, yeah. Heck, that's a real expensive light like you're referring to.
Yeah.
And that's the one thing about when your car overheats is the gauge doesn't necessarily go up. I have people call me and they're like, well, I think my car's overheating, but it's not too bad. It's, it's kind of a little over the halfway mark, and they're going to gamble it, Gambling can be fun, but not necessarily with your car. This is not like entertainment gambling. Let's see if we can make it. And
you get the dad or the guy, the car guy kind of person, and they're mad. They're mad at their wife or they're mad at their kid. You didn't stop the light was on. You kept driving to the gauge. Well, look, oftentimes can happen too, and there's some innocence there. If you have a catastrophic loss, boom, that coolant just empties out. You blow a hose or something like that. That gauge is not going to go up. But, that's where I say you need to be in tune with your car. Looking around, looking out the rearview mirror.
Steam and smells are a big deal that go past that of the light.
Yeah, you hear something weird, then there's this plume of smoke, and you say, well, it stopped. Well, yeah, because there's nothing left to burn. It's all of it's gone away. So, so you really have to be in tune with the car, and you have that, the weird odor. I mean, I can walk up to a car. I know, I guarantee you, at least two of you guys have done it. You walk out to the car with a customer that think they have a problem, and you go, radiator's leaking. Because you can smell that odor coming off the radiator. They may be there for something else. They want you to check the brakes, and you walk up and go, yep.
Coolant and fuel both have a distinct.
Yeah. Well, everyone knows what a leaky valve cover smells like, right? Because it's leaking right on the exhaust manifold. Yeah. So you're smelling like, man, how many times have they told you at the auto shop your valve cover's leaking, you haven't fixed it, At some point, it's going to get bad.
Yeah. Don't always be the one to say immediately shut down the shop, when they start to tell you something. Nope, want to talk to my neighbor or whatever. But I guess you do that less when you have a relationship with the shop, and that's what we always talk about. If you go to the shop, ask questions. I'm sure you guys invite the customers. I like doing show and tell. I want people to understand what they're buying from me and what the services we're providing. And once you've got that relationship, it's easy to say, no problem, take care of it, or Spencer or Matt or Dave, how long can I wait?
Yeah.
You know, what's the and you have that conversation, then you're totally in your comfort zone, and there's no freak out.
Well, I'm always my son plays baseball, so I'm always at baseball games. I'm going to go to a baseball game after the show, and there's always a parent that walks over to me and says, you're in the car business, right? Yes, I am. How did you know? And so they say, well, this guy asked me last night. He's got I think it was a Ford Freestar or something like that with 80,000 miles on it. Something else. Another Ford vehicle. But he was surprised that he needed a belt, but at 80,000 miles, that's not abnormal. And then he had a leaky AC hose. And he's like, what do you think about that? Does that sound right? $900. I'm like, yeah, it all sounds reasonable. Vacuum and recharge hose and a belt. That's all normal stuff, so didn't seem out of range to me. Right. But the initial reaction is, this car's been great up until now. All I've had to do is change the oil, and now you're asking me for $900?
Well, yeah.
Well, that's what happens.
One warning light. I wish they had a warning light to tell you when your battery was going to go out.
Yeah, suck battery light.
This time of year, the batteries are being taxed. I mean, when you live in the cool climate, it's October. It's the first freeze. When I lived back east, we knew when the first morning it was really cold, we were going to get all the battery phone calls. And now in our shop, we start to see the battery phone calls.
Because it's hot out.
Because it's 100-plus degrees. And they might work fine in the morning, and then they don't work at all. So I wish there was a warning light to warn you that the battery was going bad, but there isn't. So you need to have your battery tested when you're in the shop. And, of course, when it comes time to replace that battery, you want to get an Interstate battery.
All over the country, a lot of shops carry Interstate, good, safe brand. So when we come back, we've got wide open phones at 602-277-5827, 602-277-KTAR. Whether you got a light or you're wondering why you don't have a light, or you got some weird vibration, or you're wondering what kind of oil to put in your car, there's a lot of automotive experience in this room with Danny and Spencer and Steve. We'll be right back. You're listening to Bumper to Bumper Radio.
Trust. It's hard to earn and sometimes even harder to find. If you live or work in downtown Phoenix, Matt Allen's Virginia Auto Service is celebrating over 20 years of award-winning service at the corner of 7th Street and Virginia. Recognized as one of the best service shops in the country, their customers have come to trust Virginia Auto Service for its A+ rating by the BBB, 2-year 24,000-mile warranties, and free transportation to and from your home or office. 20-plus years of earning your trust. Virginia Auto Service. They're serious about service.
Gas or diesel, foreign or domestic. If your car hurts, take it to Kurt's.
That's our closing line, Pops.
I know, Jeff. Just reinforcing that we're full-service auto repair.
At Kurt's Auto Repair, we do it all, including diesel. We have the passion, training, equipment, and expertise for diesel. Our techs are ASE certified for diesel and advanced diesel diagnostics. Toy hauling, horse trailering, off-roading, or work trucking, we've got you covered.
Gas or diesel, foreign or domestic. If your car hurts, take it to Kurt's. Check us out at mycarhurts.com.
Carrie, you never disappoint me on the music. Always something good comes up. Welcome back to Bumper Radio. I'm Dave Riccio. He is Matt Allen, and we've got a couple of the crew from H&I Automotive. H&I Automotive is one of the shops found at bumpertobumperradio.com. They've got 2 locations in the East Valley, Maine, and Higley in Mesa, or Gilbert is Higley and Queen Creek Road. We've got Steve Buckmeyer, the manager at in the Mesa location. Danny Grant, who is actually a former customer of H&I. He believes so much in the business and really got to know Spencer. And this is how relationships grow. We're talking about relationships in auto repair. You got to know this guy because he's fixing your car so much so that you're like, let's do another location, and I want to be a part of it. And I think it's pretty cool, and it's really a testament to the kind of service that you guys do at H&I Automotive. And they just take care of you like your family. And women come in sometimes, they say, well, I'm a woman, I'm going to be taken advantage of. No, not necessarily. Because when I have a woman customer, I think that's somebody's wife, that's somebody's daughter, that's somebody's sister. It's important that they're taken care of. And the name H&I stands for honesty and integrity, and that's really what drives you guys. Because as auto shops, auto shops, people, it's kind of negative connotation. And for you guys are doing it right. So I mean, for us, it's nice to have you guys to be able to refer people to get taken care of. And then, and also the camaraderie, just the way you guys do business. So it's good to have you here and put you on the air. We'll put you on the spot here in a minute with some car questions. We've got Alice, we've got Jody, we've got Shane, and then we've got Bob. And we're going to go with Bob in Phoenix. He has a 2013 Hyundai Sonata. How can we help you, Bob? You're on Bumper to Bumper Radio.
Yeah, turn that radio down, Bob.
I'm in another room. Here, I got a 2013 Hyundai Sonata, and several weeks ago I was coming back from the lake. I started falling asleep several times. I should have just pulled over and slept, but what happened was I went off the road. Then the roughness in the road made me wake up real quick, and there were some barriers there, just those single barriers that are straight up. So they boom, 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 3 or 4 under the car. So I kept, got back on the road and kept driving. And I heard no different noise, but when I got home and turned it off, it sounds like something in the transmission. So I want to know if there's I tried Googling a shop, but I'm not too good. I'm elderly with the computer. And I want to know a good shop that could check that out here on Cave Creek Road in between Bell and Thunderbird area.
Bob, how did your diaper fare during this event?
I didn't have one, but guess what? I didn't need one. I'm not that old.
Well, I think I might need. I'm not talking about being old. I'm thinking I might need a diaper to contain the mess. If I would have been driving off the road, running over the cones, I might have, But Dave Bell Road up there. I mean, I doubt hitting some cones is going to hurt the transmission.
Not necessarily.
There's something going
on. And it may any good shop, Bumper to Bumper Radio, they can put it up in the air. On Bell Road up there, you've got Kurt's Auto Repair. Well,
he said by Cave Creek and Bell, so you're going to go west about 22nd Avenue to Kurt's, or you might be better off come a little bit south, go to 32nd Street in Shea, and go to Shadow Mountain Car Care. Shadow Mountain would probably, either one of them's a good choice. It just depends on which direction your life kind of takes you in, where you do your daily shopping and errands and stuff. So.
Yeah, for sure. That's all like one of my I don't like driving long distance because I get a little sleepy. I have to get out, do jumping jacks, whatever I got to do, not to fall asleep because I don't like that whole situation.
Yeah.
So anyway, good luck with that, Bob. 602-277-5827. Let's go with Alice in Phoenix. She has a 2011 Honda CR-V. How can we help you, Alice? You're on Bumper to Bumper Radio.
I went to 2 mechanics, and one mechanic said, so what happened was the fan motor burned up. It broke off the blade from the fan. It melted the shroud and overheated the clutch or the compressor. So the air conditioning went out, and he quoted me $1,800. I went to another mechanic, and he said that I also needed to get a condenser as well. The first one said I didn't need it because that model air conditioning had a piston compressor, so it doesn't push in all the metal and stuff into the condenser. So I have 2 different.
Yeah. Well, I think that the guy that you talked to that said you needed less kind of obviously sounds more attractive. But Spencer, have you done an air conditioned system on a CR-V?
I've done plenty of them.
And that's one where you did the whole enchilada?
It's the best case. You never know. You're spending $1,200-$1,300 for a compressor to start with. To finish the rest of the system for that extra $600 to $800, just more insurance that your system's now brand new and not going to fail later on.
Well, and it depends on how the system failed. And I don't know if Alice could know. I know she said something about the clutch failed, right? The air conditioning clutch, Alice?
Well, no, the fan motor stopped. So then. Well, this is my second Honda that did happen, and this is actually the 3rd time a fan motor burned up, and I'm
Right.
looking at a new air conditioner.
Well, I guess what I would say is on the CRVs are kind of known. I mean, in my shop we've done dozens of them, and they usually just grenade. They just, and that thing just, it doesn't matter if it's a piston engine or a the
Piston compressor
or the rotary style. They just, all that debris is going to get pumped through the system. So I would just do everything. But the little caveat is, again, it's the shop that you're going to. If the compressor failed internally, yeah, that's a problem. If you just had the compressor clutch fail and the bearing failed, maybe broke the horn off the compressor or something like that, then there's probably no reason to do the condenser. But generally speaking, most of the time, the CRVs, when they go big. And so, yeah, you want to just do everything, and then make sure you're using new parts and more of a original equipment part.
Yeah, and that makes a huge difference, putting good parts on it. And
there's a difference between new and new. You can have new Denso, which maybe came in the car, and you can have new, Acme brand. And yes, it is new.
Right.
But it's
new
not.
crap is new crap.
Well, there you have it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's one of those things, and I always say it. If I can do the job wrong for $10 and right for $12, spend $12. Because the condenser, it's already an expensive project, and it already doesn't feel good. So it doesn't feel good. You don't want to do it the first time. I guarantee you don't want to do it the second time. So that's my point. If you go a little bit further and get it done right, that's a fairly young Honda. It's still got a lot of life in it. You're still going to have it for some years to come. I don't want to pay to do it twice. And by doing the whole system and by doing it right and by doing good components, then you have a system that's going to last. And that's my...
Yeah. And, and then I hate to even do this to Alice, but then you have condensers. There's the original condenser.
Oh,
and
yeah.
There's the aftermarket one that's $100 cheaper.
Right.
Again, there's a difference. So have some more conversations with those guys and ask them, maybe, are these original equipment parts? Are they, what would you do if this was your car? What's the reason, call the guy without the evaporator on his and say, or without the condenser, and say, why wouldn't you replace the condenser? I thought I heard that you should replace the condenser. Is there a reason why you wouldn't in this case? And maybe he'll tell you that you had an external failure and there's no reason to. And if that's a good explanation, then go for it.
Condensers are one of those things that people go cheap on. And sometimes in the body business, we did some body shop talk last week. You're in a front-end collision. You get your car back. Car's fairly new, and all of a sudden the air conditioning doesn't work that great. Well, that's because they put a condenser in there that doesn't have the surface area or the fins per inch or whatever it is that makes those things work great. But they can cheat them in the aftermarket world, and it does happen. You end up with a system that underperforms. And you can get away with that in Seattle, I think. But in Arizona, I don't think you're getting away with it, So you want to if you're going to do an AC repair, do it right, do it once. Anyhow, when we come back, we've got Tina, Shane, and Jody, and more open lines at 602-277-5827. You're listening to Bumper to Bumper Radio.
It sounds like they've just had the accurate automotive experience. We're family-owned and operated and have served the Mesa, Tempe, Gilbert communities for over 22 years. We focus on building long-lasting relationships and, listening to you so that we can understand, meet, and exceed your expectations. One location, 14 bays, 88 years of automotive expertise, and a passionate commitment to customer service and excellence. My name is Lee Weatherby, and I approve this message because it's true. We love what we do, and we want to do it for you. Accurate Automotive, the home of friends serving friends.
You love golf? Hey, we love golf. Want to stay informed and have a little fun?
Just tune in every Saturday morning from 7 to 9 for the Bunker to Bunker Golf Show, the Valley's #1 golf show. I'm Greg Ellis.
And I'm Jim Hill. And along with Marty Monahan, we talk to tour players and insiders from around the golf world.
So round out the foursome, your weekly tee time, 7 a.m. Saturdays on 98.7 FM, Arizona Sports Station, or catch up with us anytime at bunkergolf.com.
I listen regularly to Bumper Radio and knew that they only refer the best shops. So when my beloved 2007 Honda Accord was hit recently, I simply went to bumpertobumperradio.com. Hi, this is Sarah from North Phoenix. Even though it was not the closest shop to my home, I chose Campus Auto Body Salon. I did my homework. I liked that they've been in business since 1973 and was impressed with their outstanding customer reviews. Every customer was completely satisfied. I even went to 2 other non-Bumper to Bumper radio shops first. Then I went to Campus Auto Body Salon. Wow, what a difference. I met with the owner, Leo Petrozella. He was easy to talk to, gave me an initial estimate right on the spot, and handled all of the negotiations with the insurance company. Leo communicated with me throughout the repair process, and I could not have been more pleased with the outcome. The paint match, fit, and finish exceeded my expectations. If you've been in an accident, your first and only call should be to Campus Auto Body Salon.
Arizona's news station. KTAR. On air, 92.3 FM. Online at KTAR.com. And streaming live on the KTAR News app. Your breaking news and traffic now.
KTAR News Time, it's 11:30. I'm Amy Pohl. One person and a toddler was taken to the hospital after a car hit the light pole. Tempe police say it happened at Southern Ave and Country Club. The toddler is facing life-threatening injuries. The driver suffering serious injuries. Impairment is suspected. It's advised to avoid that area for the next few hours until roads are cleared. KTAR Eyes on Education. We're getting a first look at AZ merit testing scores. Stefan Swyatt says overall the results were positive.
Out of the 18 categories, students in Arizona are only down in 5 of the 18. So for 13 of the 18, they've actually increased their percent passing.
However, the passing rates are still low. While Arizona 11th graders increased their passing rate by 5% in their English language arts testing, one of the highest increases among grades tested, the passing rate is still only at 24%. And now for a check on traffic. Here's Mike Daniels live in the Valley Chevy Dealers Traffic Center.
Thank you, Amy. Got injury accident involving a pedestrian at 16th Street and Thomas, and a wreck in Tempe blocking the shoulder. US 60 eastbound east of McClintock. DPS is on scene. This traffic report brought to you by Sonora and Quest Labs. Just what the patient order with My Last Lab request. You can order tests for diabetes, heart health, thyroid, and more without a doctor's order. Visit sonoraquest.com. I'm Mike Daniels, KTAR News.
KTAR weather for the Valley. Today's forecast, it's 91 degrees in Glendale, sunny with the high at 97. Tonight, clear, the low at 72. And Sunday, the high at 100. Then clear at night with the low at 72. Weather brought to you by Howard Air. Whether replace or repair, call Howard Air. I'm Amy Pohl on Arizona's news station, KTAR News.
Honor a Valley veteran by nominating them as a Grand Marshal at the Phoenix Veterans Day Parade November 11th. Text HONOR to 620-620. We need you to help us find deserving Arizona veterans to honor this Veterans Day. Text the word HONOR to 620-620. Honor Our Heroes is presented by Sanderson Ford.
Hi, Dave Riccio, owner of Tri-City Transmission and co-host of Bumper to Bumper Radio. Someday you're going to have to spend some money on your transmission. Maybe it's just maintenance, like an oil and filter change. Or maybe your transmission has developed a small leak. Or it could be that the transmission has failed and needs to be overhauled. You're going to want it done right and at a fair price. You're also going to want the shop to be in business 14 months later if a problem arises. At Tri-City Transmission Auto Repair, we can do all of that and so much more. From old Buicks to BMWs and Porsches, to CVTs and the new 8-speed automatic transmissions. Other shops may tell you they can't give you a price until they disassemble the transmission. At Tri-City Transmission and Auto Repair, we don't do that. We're capable of telling you the top, the bottom, and the average. This is from our experience of doing thousands of transmission overhauls over the last 4 decades. Find out more at TriCityTransmission.com. That's TriCityTransmission.com.
Trust. It's hard to earn and sometimes even harder to find. If you live or work in downtown Phoenix, Matt Allen's Virginia Auto Service is celebrating over 20 years of award-winning service at the corner of 7th Street and Virginia. Recognized as one of the best service shops in the country, their customers have come to trust Virginia Auto Service for its A-plus rating by the BBB, 2-year 24,000-mile warranties, and free transportation to and from your home or office. 20-plus years of earning your trust. Virginia Auto Service. They're serious about service.
There is nothing more important than family. Hi, Kurt Rock here for Kurt's Auto Repair. I brought my nephew and general manager, Jeff Rock, to help spread the word.
Thanks, Pops. Yep, the more things change, the more they stay the same at Kurt's. Family owned and operated, our ASE Master Techs and family ethics have earned us a perfect Better Business Bureau record for over 30 years. Just east of I-17 at 22nd Avenue in Bell, or online at mycarhurts.com.
Gas or diesel, foreign or domestic, if your car hurts, take it to Kurt's.
Few cities are as car-centric as Phoenix, and this is the show that'll help you to better understand that machine you depend on to get around the valley. It's Bumper to Bumper Radio. KTAR News on 92.3 FM and the KTAR app for Android and iPhone.
Well, welcome back to Bumper Radio. Happy Saturday. I am Dave Riccio here along with Matt Allen, and we're helping you with your car. And if it's your first time tuning in to Bumper Radio and you're like, hey, what's this show all about? These guys are talking about lights and stinky air conditioning. Well, there's a text about stinky air conditioning. It's a show to help put you in the know about your car so that when you go to the auto shop, you don't hear $800, because I'm pretty sure that's what you're hearing. So we want to just kind of put you in the know, make it a more comfortable place for you to go get your car taken care of, because we all have to get it taken care of. It's something we can't avoid. The other thing that Bumper to Bumper Radio is, there's a website, bumpertobumperradio.com, and there's a list of great shops on there that Matt and I carte blanche would refer you to. These are people that have been through our vetting process, people that we feel comfortable with sending you there. We know they're good shops, and, you know, hands down, they're going to take care of you. And then one of the shops on Bumper to Bumper Radio we have in studio with us, they actually have two shops, one in Gilbert and then Mesa, and the shops are actually Main and Higley, and then Higley and Queen Creek. We've got Steve Buckmeyer, Danny Grant, and Spencer Doucet in with us to help you with the car. And then, what do you want to say?
Go ahead and finish.
Oh, no.
I'm just letting you know that I want to get a point out here.
Okay, yeah, no, I want to hear your point.
Okay.
They're
Well,
sometimes
you know,
good.
A lot of mechanics listen to the show. A lot of shop owners listen to the show. And it's nice when, you say we carte blanche recommend people and we feel comfortable doing that. Unsolicited, we get, we have a guy that's a friend of the show, B-Tech. He calls himself B-Tech George, or that's kind of the name we've come up with him, B-Tech. And B-Tech sent in, and that's nice, I say technicians are listening to the show. It's nice when you have an unsolicited comment from a technician that says, basically his name says, I'll just summarize. Spencer and Steve helped out the little old lady friend of mine. Very nice tour with her 75 Lincoln. And I mentioned this to Spencer and Steve, and they're like, oh, yeah, we know her. They know the exact car. They remember her and how they tried to, there was something special about this car. So, they didn't always want to fix it for her because it wasn't the right thing to do, but they just helped her along with that car. And that's the kind of people that you're going to get at these shops that are Bumper to Bumper Radio. The guys in the neighborhood, the guys you see at church, and the gals for that matter, or the soccer game, or Dave, the baseball game, or the grocery store. When I say we collectively, all the shops, we are in the community that we work and live in. And that's the type of people that you get.
Yeah, and it's not an auto shop run by some investor.
Exactly.
This is people who are passionate about fixing cars and looking you in the eyeball and wanting to do the best, best by you.
When Carl Icahn goes and buys every auto shop in town, he's not doing it because he wants to take care of the little old lady in the neighborhood. It's because he wants to add some more commas to that $1 billion that he has. Okay,
sure.
So my point is that's what you get at these type of shops, locally owned, neighborhood people. We want to be your local repair shop.
For sure. Well, we've got Tina, and we've got Shane, and we've got Les, and a couple more coming through at 602-277-5827, 602-277-KTAR. You can also text us at 411-923. We got a text someone asking about smelly air condition, and we're going to get to that smelliness here in a minute. But we're going to go with Shane in Gilbert. He's got a 2016 Dodge Dart. How can we help you, Shane? You're on Bumper to Bumper Radio.
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking my call. Appreciate it.
You bet.
So 2016 Dodge Dart runs good. Summertime's approaching. Once you've had a car overheat a few times on you before in the past, I think I watch my temperature gauge more than I watch my gas gauge when I drive in the heat now.
Good idea.
So I notice now when it starts to run a little warm, it's normally just about the half mark. And it'll go to a little past the half mark to the first click. And like I said, having cars overheat in the past, it makes me want to pull over. Sometimes I do. Sometimes then, shut it off, let it cool down. But then the fan turns on, brings it back down below where it should be, where it's normally at. I've talked to the dealership multiple times about it, and they said that's just a normal thing with Dodges. I've never had a car that does that, and it freaks me out every time it does it. Want to see if you guys had any input on it.
How many miles are on the car, roughly?
Just about 62,000 now.
Yeah.
It's done it. I bought it used about a year and a half ago at about almost 25,000. It's done it from the first day I bought it.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty normal condition. But for those of you driving around, you've got a car 2, 3, 4 years old. There doesn't have to be anything, quote, wrong with the car to make it overheat, and you don't have to have a car overheating to have a car running marginally hot. So, Spencer, guys, I don't know what you think about little things. It's little tiny accumulative things. You get 2 or 3 little things. Maybe you've got a bag that you hit on the freeway that
plugging up
some ductwork,
plugging the airflow.
A lot of people have their dog or their cat in the garage. So what happens when you start the car, if you've got a fan belt driven fan, or you have your AC on, you start it up, those fans kick on as soon as you start. So what do fans do? They blow, but they have to suck first. So I've taken cars apart where they have the the whole radiator is just covered in little fur, little cat hair and stuff, or dog hair, debris, dust, leaves. So you can take a blower, wash that all out. Steve, you've got some.
A lot of times, too, we'll see that the one of the shrouds at the bottom might have gotten on a curb in a parking lot. It's not buttoned up, not diverting air correctly where it's supposed to be.
Yeah, that 5-degree foam, that's layered between the condenser and between the radiator. There's little pieces in there. That's why I say, like, good auto repair, they put everything back. Some of those little details, but there could be something missing a little bit, and on those fans, too, a lot of those fans are, high, they're multi-speed, so maybe they're not working all the way. They're still running, and you think, oh, great, but maybe they're not quite doing the job. Yeah. So there's something in there. Some more diagnostic, say it may be very normal, and it may very well be normal for that car, but then again, maybe not, So I personally, if it bothers you and you're nervous about it, have somebody go through the system, kind of check those things out.
Yeah, or take the hose and run the hose through the radiator and the condenser and wash all the bugs off, maybe flush the dirt out of there. We had a diesel truck a couple weeks ago. I think we took 2 pounds of dirt out of the, cleaning the intercooler and the radiator and stuff out. Big old, it's like a bag of flour,
For sure. Cool. Well, thanks for the call, Shane. We're going to go with Tina in Mesa. She's got a 2007 Chevrolet Avalanche. How can we help you, Tina? You're on Bumper to Bumper Radio.
Thank you. The seal coat, I've lost the seal coat on the side that faces the sun, and I need to know a decent paint shop.
Tina, your phone was cutting out quite a bit, but I think I didn't hear all you hear what's wrong, but you're looking for someone to paint your car?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
it sounded like she had some clear coat failure.
Oh yeah, they had the tops are starting to fade. We had the guys from the body shop, the Bumper to Bumper collision team, if you will. We're in last week. So if you go to bumpertobumperradio.com, Tina, take a look. There's a couple body shops on the east side of town, and take a look. Give them a call and see if that might be something to work for you. And if they're a little too far, that's the thing. All these guys know each other. If you need something around my neighborhood, call me. I can refer you to the upholstery guy or a shop that's closer to you. Or so start with the Bumper to Bumper collision team.
Yeah, and when it comes to paint and stuff, you can do it right and you can do it wrong. Leo was saying there's like 800 body shops in this town, and maybe a few of them you don't want to go to. But you're safe bet at Bumper to Bumper Radio.
I had a guy, as a little side note, I'm out doing some yard work in my neighborhood. The guy pulls up, and he's like, hey, I can fix those faded tops on your Excursion for you. Oh, I'm going to have some gypsy roaming around the freaking neighborhood, or the guy in the parking lot. Hey, I can fix that for $40, Don't go there. So I entertained him for a while. Hey, tell me, where do you work? I do this, that. And we have these special oils. I didn't tell him I know anything. I'm like, nah.
I keep a pail and a roller so I can fix people's paint on the side of the road all the time. Hey, I can fix that for you. I get the roller out, man. I lap it up real good. Looks real great. So anyway, we've got Jody in Mesa. She's got a 2014 BMW 428i. How you doing, Jody? How can we help you? You're on Bumper to Bumper Radio.
Jody. Nope.
All right.
We're going to put Jody on hold. Maybe we'll come back to her.
For sure. Well, let's go with Les in Queen Creek. He's got a 2013 Dodge Avenger. I think they wrote a movie about that car.
The Dodge
Avengers.
Yeah.
How can we help you, Les?
Good morning, gentlemen. Thanks again for taking my call. You're basically going to be helping my son out because he just purchased a Dodge Avenger about 3 weeks ago, and it's a 2013 with about 112,000 miles on it. sharp black. You know, he liked the look. He bought it, and we were driving it one day. I was driving it about 2 days after we got it, and it started to hesitate and just died while we were driving and rolling. So, you know, threw it in neutral, fired it back up with a little hesitation, but it fired back up. No check engine light, nothing. So couldn't get it to go again until about 4 days later, and then it started doing it again. It did it 2 or 3 times to him. So we took it back to the place we bought it. They were really friendly and nice, and they went ahead and diagnosed it with a bad fuel pump and some other sensor in the fuel pump on the gas gauge. They replaced all that. Very next night, he's at work. He gets off of work. He has a really tough time starting it. It just doesn't want to start. Crank, crank, crank. Finally fired up. And then it started to do the same problem again where while he's driving, it dies. He pulls over, cranks it, starts back up. No check engine light. The place that we bought it from is took it for 3 days, drove it all over the place, couldn't get the problem to come up again. He just got it back last night, so I don't know how this is going to go, but what are some of the things we can look at with no check engine light?
Well, before you said fuel pump, I was kind of going that way, but there's not much that you can really look at. I mean, we've got to have some diagnostic equipment hooked up to the car. I mean, we want to be looking at maybe, you know, it depends on what you're looking at in the scanner. What's the duty cycle of the power being supplied to the fuel pump? Does it have power to the pump? Did they use a factory pump? I'm not using aftermarket pumps and stuff. You know, I'm not just using brand X because they make the pump for everything. So you really need to get it diagnosed. Spencer, where would you go with this?
Definitely more of an electrical problem. So a no-code diagnosis is the most fun.
Right.
Because there's no direction to go. You just got to start at the front of the car and, like you said, check the power. You got to check the power from the ignition switch to the fuse block, from the fuse block to the fuel pump. Mm-hmm. Is it getting to each side of the connector, or is it stopping and you got terminal tension issues where you got a new fuel pump, but the other half of that fuel pump connector is an open terminal and there's no contact, and as they get hot, they open up.
Yeah, and check with them. What brand of fuel pump did they use?
You said a good factory fuel pump because you don't like to use the aftermarket ones at your shop. You can't get that at Acme Auto Parts down on the corner.
No, and most used car lots are not buying the most expensive premium parts either. They might want to just get from the auto parts store a fuel pump. So, not that, you know, but then again, maybe there was never the fuel pump.
It could have been, yeah.
Still, the underlying problem is still there. So it really needs to have have a diagnostic done. And we got to take a break here, but you know, I want everybody to do this when you take your car and write down the mileage, and then check it. Oh, they drove it all over town. I've done that. I've taken the car in for an intermittent problem or something in warranty, and the dealer, we drove the car, this and that. You put 3 damn miles on the car. What are you talking about? Letting it run in the parking lot for 7 hours is not doing anything. Drive it. So,
when we come back, we've got Jody. I think Jody's ready for us, and we've got maybe time for a call or two at 602-277-5827. We'll be right back.
What's the right call after a car accident? Hi, Leo Petrozello for Campus Auto Body Salon. I invite you to check us out online and see why so many people have made us their first call following their accident. Bumper to Bumper Radio approved, 5-star rated with Yelp and CarWise.com, and A+ rated by the BBB. Make your first call the right call to Campus Auto Body Salon. Check us out online at campusbodysalon.com. Serving the Valley since 1973. Campus Auto Body Salon, the best care in collision repair.
Honesty and integrity, it's the only option. Hi, Spencer Doucet for H&I Automotive. H is for honesty and I is for integrity. We've built our business on these 2 principles.
Hi, this is Danny Grant. And I'm Paul Garcia. We're Spencer's business partners. Originally, we were customers that were referred by friends to check out this great shop in Mesa. We saw for ourselves how special the experience was at H&I.
Yep, we went from raving fans to good friends to enthusiastic partners when Spencer was looking to expand his business to the East Valley.
Thanks, guys. The overwhelming support from our customers, families, and partners has allowed us to celebrate the opening of our second, brand-new, state-of-the-art location in Gilbert. 2 locations, same principles. Quality service at a great value that you can count on for all your automotive needs. Backed with an industry-leading 60-month, 60,000-mile parts and labor warranty. We invite you to check us out at HIAutomotive.com.
It sounds like they've just had the accurate automotive experience. We're family owned and operated and have served the Mesa, Tempe, Gilbert communities for over 22 years. We focus on building long-lasting relationships and, oh yeah, listening to you so that we can understand, meet, and exceed your expectations. One location, 14 bays, 88 years of automotive expertise, and a passionate commitment to customer service and excellence. My name is Lee Weatherby, and I approve this message because it's true. We love what we do, and we want to do it for you. Accurate Automotive, the home of friends serving friends.
Although, I will say I'm just not a fan of this song. I'm gonna put my foot down. No, welcome back to Bumper Radio. I know Carrie's rolling back in the chair. You jerk. Welcome back to Bumper Radio. We've got Jody and a couple calls being screened in, and we're helping with your car. You're listening to, I'm Dave Riccio. He's Matt Allen. We've got Spencer Doucet. We've got Danny Grant, and we've got Steve Buckmeyer, and they're with H&I Automotive. They have two locations, one shop, H&I Automotive, and they're just a couple of the great shops at bumpertobumperradio.com. We had somebody calling in, hey, I need to get my car painted. We've got that, bumpertobumperradio.com. Anything you're looking for, you're going to find there. And if you find a good shop, like you guys are a home to a lot of people, but they're going to come to your shop and they're going to say, hey, Spencer, do you know a good body shop? And you're going to say, as a matter of fact, I do. Go see Campus Auto Body. They're at bumpertobumperradio.com. You find them. Mm-hmm. So if you've got a shop that's your home, they'll refer you where you need to go if you've got a relationship with them. And that's why I say have that relationship. It's important.
Yes,
absolutely.
Indeed. One thing I wanted to say earlier, and this is a little bit of a shameless plug here, but there's a lot of technicians that listen to this show. If you're a technician out there and you're looking for a job, I am looking for technicians. I'm opening another facility. Virginia Auto Service is looking. Import Car Specialist is looking for technicians. But not just me, but if you're looking for a home as a technician, why don't you check out some of the Bumper to Bumper Radio shops? These are all good shops. They all run good businesses, and it's every single one of them is the kind of place that you would want to work at. So if you're out there looking for a job as a technician, you're not really comfortable where you are, not only am I looking, look in your neighborhood and check out the other guys at bumpertobumperradio.com as well.
And Spencer said something during the break. We got a little tangent, a little rant, and he says, oh, yeah, some of those places are just putting bodies in bays. Oh, you got a heartbeat and a wrench? You're hired. Yeah. These are shops where, Spencer, you're in your shop every day. You turn wrenches at points. I call you, hold on, he's under a car. I mean, we are hands-on in these shops, and it's not just, oh, you got a heartbeat and a tool, or, oh, you got a heartbeat, we'll get you a tool. These are people that are passionate about their careers, and they're proud of what they do. And the last thing they're going to do is some crappy old repair on your car or something you don't need because they care about you, your car, and even their career. It's in their own best interest. They're proud of what they do.
Yeah, we always say in the shop, and I think I got this from you, Dave, don't be the guy where the next shop is looking at their car going, oh, my God, look what they hacked on this.
Right,
how many times do you see that? You look at they would have been better off leaving this car alone than working on it.
Yeah.
Just do nothing. I mean,
sometimes it's better to drive a broken factory car than a repaired aftermarket car.
A repaired aftermarket car where the technician, his only tool is a shoehorn.
And you just don't know sometimes. I mean, the website is beautiful. Oh, they've got this great website. They've got all this
great
stuff.
reviews because those are real.
Yeah, only the bad ones are real. but yeah. So there's anyway.
For sure. Well, let's go with Megan in Scottsdale. Megan has a 2006 Honda Civic. How can we help you, Megan? You're on Bumper to Bumper Radio.
Hi. So I just moved here recently, and I've been wanting to get an SUV because I've only driven two-door cars my whole life, so it's very annoying. And I want to buy a used car because I don't want to take a loan out. So I just didn't know what kind of auto places to go get the car checked out at because yes, I've looked at a lot, I've read reviews and everything, and it's just there's so many bad, there's so many good. So I just wanted to know if you had any recommendations for places to go get a car checked over before I would actually buy it, where I could trust what they're saying.
I'm so happy to hear a phone call like this because you just said what you're going to do, which I don't know. I'll make up a number. 90% of the population that buys used car doesn't. Where's a good place to get the car checked? Thank God that people are out there listening and doing that. So, I mean, you're in Scottsdale. You're going to buy your car maybe anywhere, but it's a good idea.
Yeah.
So a good place to start is right here with us. You're doing your due diligence. You're listening to the radio Saturday morning. You're hearing Bumper to Bumper Radio. Any one of those shops can do what we call a pre-purchase inspection for you and have the car checked over. We charge around $100. It's gonna be about $100, give or take, $25 either direction to have the car checked out. But it's money well spent. But the other place I want to send you to, where you can kind of maybe not have to get that car checked out right away. If you're in South Scottsdale, or you're in Scottsdale, I see that, but I don't know what part. But just keep going south, right there by the 202. You see that Carvana vending machine. You can do this from home right now. Go to Carvana, search it. I'm sure it's Carvana.com, or just type it in. And you can comfortably shop for and buy a car online. Now, you don't necessarily get to go test drive it, but you get a 7-day test drive.
Money back
right?
guarantee, yeah, right? Yeah. If you put it doesn't match your eyes or something, and you're not happy with it, you can
No
take
questions
it back.
asked.
Yeah.
And they do the financing, the whole 9 yards. And there's some more details to it, but if you don't like the first one, you call them up, they'll bring you the second one. You're not going to get the cheesy finance guy hounding you for the warranty.
And we got to get Jody in here, but I do want to make a point because I had a friend buy a Honda certified car, and it was a good car and everything, but I read through their paperwork and their checkout, and the tires had 3.5 30-seconds of an inch on them. In their paperwork, it said they're certified, so they're going to have 8 30-seconds. Just because something is Honda certified doesn't mean, she had this good feeling, it's certified and all this stuff, but she did the right thing. She bought it. She had a couple days to get it checked out. She brought it to me. We ripped and teared. We found a little coolant leak. We found some tires that were worn out, some stuff like that. So just because the guy's selling it to you, the winner writes the story, okay? And so, you can't let the fox watch the hen house, okay? I agree, you seem perfectly nice, but I know this guy over here, Dave, I'm going to take it to him and let him check it out. And anyone who gets upset about that, go somewhere else.
Yeah.
So anyway, let's sneak in Jody and Mesa with the 2014 BMW. Go ahead, Jody, you're on Bumper to Bumper Radio.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
So I have 2 questions for you. One, I think I know the answer, and that is on my BMW, from time to time, and typically it's when my gas gauge tells me I have about 18 miles to go before I run out of gas, I get a drivetrain malfunction and the car shuts down. Mm-hmm. Is that because the fuel is low? And I've had my mechanics check it. We've replaced the spark plugs. We've done all of that.
Yeah, it sounds like you're on the right track there. When the fuel pressure, just because it says 18 miles, that isn't exactly calibrated for the exact mileage. I mean, I've had 0 miles remaining on mine and still
goes.
running. But yeah, if the fuel pressure drops a little bit, it's going to have a bit of a misfire, and that's going to cause that light to come on. So, but the other thing, don't run the tank low. You're really playing with fire because you got the high pressure fuel pump, the regular fuel pump, direct injection. You need to keep fuel in the car.
At least a quarter tank.
Well, thanks for being with us. Thanks, H&I, for coming in. If you're looking for a friendly, honest, competent, that's a big word, you can shop. You can find them at bumpertobumperradio.com. While you're there, be sure to like the Facebook, like the Bumper to Bumper family on Facebook. From all the shops at Bumper to Bumper Radio, have a great weekend.